Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Dale, and welcome to It's So Universal.
So, our topic today is about life after divorce.
Life after divorce.
So, how's life after divorce
Girl.
for you?
Well, getting to this point, it took a lot to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, after the divorce, I found me.
Yeah.
It was, the divorce was hard, and it was painful going, because nobody gets married to get a divorce.
Right.
So yeah,
Definitely.
it was difficult, but it was also, redefining me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
that's what do you think?
About the same. I feel the same way about that. It was hard in the beginning. I didn't think, like you said, I didn't marry to get a divorce. Mm-hmm. So, no one ever does, but it happens, unfortunately. And so adjusting to being single again after being married for so long is difficult.
It's a lot of adjustments.
It's a lot of adjustments.
You have to go through.
Yeah.
You have to adjust to different financial states.
Yes.
You have to adjust to being a single parent. If you're a parent, you have to adjust to, the quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
Your finding new things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because your life was involved with someone else.
Somebody else. Yeah.
So it's a lot of adjusting to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So financial. It taught me how to be financial independent.
Mm-hmm.
and how to be on my own.
Right.
Even though going through my whole marriage process taught me a lot of that also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
how to be responsible,
financially responsible and save.
Yeah.
That's
huge. Yeah.
It taught me
I'm
that.
still learning.
It taught me that.
Learning, because it can be hard sometimes. The financial, when you have two incomes, it's
going to one.
You going from two to one it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adjustment, and for me, I just, even now I still have struggles with just, worries
mm-hmm.
about, just the day to day.
Worrying about the unknown because you were so comfortable being with someone, and we never think we're going to get a divorce, but you focused your life on being with that person and having a life with that person, and then having to no longer having that person. It is can be fearful. The unknown is very fearful, and but you have to, when you approach it, like one chapter is closed and this is the beginning to a new chapter, then you're able to face it with different perspectives and different, you're able to look forward to what God got for you now.
Yeah.
What's now? What's God gonna do on this side?
Right. And it is a process.
It is.
It's a big process. Like, I'll say for me in the beginning, it was, this is kind of like a devastation, like, it was like, okay, this is, and I think I've said this before, that this is like, I was like, probably shocked more than anything. And then, although, I had issues. We had issues, me and my ex-husband, of course. But, like you said, it's like, going through that, you figure you will find your way through that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it just doesn't work out like that, and that's okay. There's no bad or good to that, but it just happened. But it can be very painful. So like the beginning of it is really painful, and you have to go through that grieving process.
Yes.
Because it is a grieving process.
You go through the grieving process, angry. There's a lot of feelings that you go through, a lot of emotions that you experience, and you have to be able to understand that we're not led by our emotions, and we're and our feelings and our thoughts.
Yeah.
We have to be able to bring our thoughts under subjection and be able to say, this is not, that's just my thought, let me face what I got. And it is painful. Like you said, it's painful. I cried after my divorce, and I said that before. I cried after my divorce, and it wasn't because I was missing him, or it was just because I knew that chapter was closed and it was final. And it caught me off guard because I did not expect to cry. You know,
because y'all had been separated for so long.
We had been separated for so long, but just knowing that it was over, it was final. But and we think about what's next. What's next, and we think, can we do this by ourselves?
That was a huge thing for me. And like I said, I think I've said that before in a previous podcast, is that that was my worry. Like, can I really do this life? Like, can I take care of myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, when I divorced, my children were pretty much grown, halfway grown. So I knew that between he and I, we would do what we needed to do for our kids. That was never an issue. But just the thought of, because I got married so young, and basically I came from my parents' home to a married home.
Your home with your husband.
My home with my husband. And so it's like living on my own and taking care of bills and
just doing it by yourself.
That's doing all that by myself had me scared, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and I think that was my biggest fear, was just being, not so much the being alone, like that was a thing too, of course, that I feel like that's a part of getting a divorce, so we worry about being alone.
One thing, my ex, and I know I'm not the only one, a lot of people are told that you're a mother with children. When I divorced, when we separated, my girls were, they were young. And so when we got a divorce, they were still young, but not as young when the separation. So I was going through it by myself. But you think that, we're told, who's going to want you? You have 2 children, you have a lot of baggage, And so that's fearful. Like, you think that you're going to end up alone. So that's something that, if you can see what God sees, because we see straightforward, but if you can see, God sees around the corner. He sees the whole thing. And if you can see that, you don't even have to worry. Don't even worry yourself with that. Because that's, right now, it's especially fresh out of a divorce. It's best to think about healing yourself and reconnecting yourself with the source, and reconnecting and finding yourself and finding out who you are. That's if you can spend some time doing that, and even though you do, that's another part of one of the emotions that we go through, is the loneliness. If you can get past that, you'll make it. You'll make it. And because I'm telling you, girl, you'll make it.
Yeah, you'll make it. I just remember, for me, it was like a bit of course, the initial, I'll just lay out my emotions through the beginning of my divorce, like right when when it first happened. Shock. Shock. So it's like, shock is the first emotion for me. Then the grieving starts to happen, and then it's the what could I have done better? You start punishing yourself, like self-doubting yourself, and what could I have done better? Even though sometimes in the back of your mind you might know that you tried all you could try. You tried the hardest you could try, and it just didn't work. And so
you can't blame yourself for that. You have to forgive yourself, because we go through that of blaming ourselves and thinking, oh, if I would have done this, it would have worked. If it was gonna work, it would have worked.
Right. Exactly.
And don't blame yourself.
Yeah.
Just really, we have to forgive ourselves.
Forgive ourselves. Yeah.
And that's easier said than done, because we think we forgiven, but then as soon as some emotions are were triggered, we're right back feeling that same way.
Yeah.
So we have to really forgive it, give it to God, and let it go.
Let it go.
Just give it to God, and so be it. Let it go.
You have to do that, because it's very important and that's an important step in order for healing, to moving past the pain, is forgiving yourself. Because if you feel so guilty, you're gonna always be wondering what you could have done better, or could have done differently. And if you've been with someone for a long period of time, like for me it was 20 years, so that's a long time. Now on this side, hindsight, and having been divorced for a little while, I can truly say I felt like I did all I could do.
You did all you can do, and when you can really say, like, my hands are clean.
Yeah.
When you can really say that you've done all you can do, that's nothing you can self-doubt about. You've done it. You've done the work. You did what you did. You put in the work. You tried to make it work. You scratch all, do all the check marks. Check all the boxes.
Exactly.
And it's not for you to doubt yourself anymore. You just got to forgive yourself and just give it to God and leave it there.
Yeah.
And keep it pushing.
And don't allow your mind to play tricks on you, to trigger you back into guilt. And don't allow someone else, whether it be your family, whether it be your ex-spouse, to trigger you into self-doubt, into guilt. Don't do that. Tell straight up and down. It's like, things happen, it didn't work out. Even if you have to tell your family that, listen, this is the way it is. I'm not going to own up for your responsibilities or whatever, playing your part, because everybody has a part. To me, I feel like marriage is it's between two people.
It's a job between two people,
exactly.
And it takes two people to make it work.
Exactly. So you own your responsibility, and you say, listen, this is the way it is. Because for me, that's what I had to do in order to get past myself having guilt and doubt and just self-sabotaging myself for a long period of time. I just had to be like, even to my family and friends, it's like, this is the way it is. That's just it.
That's just it. And that doesn't mean that your ex-husband is a bad person. Right. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you weren't the right people for one another.
Yeah.
So because we go through marriages and relationships, we go through them, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that that's a bad person, because they might go through for a lesson. It's a lesson that they're learning through that process. And at the end of that process, you may grow apart and outgrow each other. Then you've done your job, you've done your due diligence to make that work. So it's just move on, and that you may say, I don't want nobody else to be with them, or I don't want I did all those work, and then he can go have a perfect life with someone else. Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because that shows growth.
Right.
And when you can move on from that too, that shows growth on your part. Because if he can able to have a successful relationship with the next person, that's growth.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I know sometimes women especially get caught up with that kind of mindset, like, and I feel like sometimes that's why a lot of women, especially black women, stay in a lot of these marriages that they're not happy in. Because they feel like, I did all this work, this man, he wasn't none, I ain't gonna let the next one
have it. Honey, I put in too much work, honey.
Let it go.
Let it go. I'm gonna tell you, from my own experience, it was about what made me decide to go ahead and get it. I had a whole bunch of things that it was a journey to get there.
Right.
But during the process, when I realized that I was not in this relationship because of love and because of I was fighting for this relationship because I didn't want to lose the man. You know, I didn't want to lose. I don't want to. I don't want to. I wanted to win.
Yeah.
Well, if I can walk away with my dignity and my self-respect and be the whole package,
right,
and whole within myself and closer to God, I won.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I won.
Yeah, definitely. In the end, you won because you chose you.
I chose me. You choosing yourself.
Yeah, choosing
over
yourself
all
is
that.
important. Yeah.
You know, because at the end of it, I really don't even know if that relationship. I do know that it went somewhere. I don't know. That ain't even my business. I don't even care. But I do know that after the fight, the interest was gone. You know, it wasn't that strong. You know, once I gave up, you can have them. I'm not fighting no more.
Right.
You know, the interest was gone. It
was gone. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It was gone. So it was just like, it's a relief. You know, you can sleep easy.
Sleep easy. Yeah.
Be peaceful.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
just letting go of things that don't serve you.
Yeah.
No, if you.
Yeah, letting go of things that don't serve you is huge. I mean, in the marriage too. And, you know, when it comes to that divorcing, you have to let it go. And I mean, we both sitting here making it seem like it's easy. It's really not easy.
It's not. It's a process. This was a journey to get here.
Yeah.
I thank God for the woman I am today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Me too.
That built this woman I am today. And I see before you a whole woman today, a healed woman today, and have a relationship with the Most High, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because once you have that relationship with Him, He'll make room for you to have the relationship that He wants you to have.
Yeah.
And He has for you.
Right.
And there's nothing like the relationship that He has for you.
Right.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's a thing where it's like once you come out of for me, like I said, the first initial emotions were there, the pain, the hurt, all that kind of thing. And I think over time, after a while, I honestly started to feel relief.
After a while?
After a while I did. Because I started to realize that for me, it was like taking a huge breath of fresh air.
You were waiting to exhale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was like a big exhale. Thinking about it, and you know, in the more kind of like I don't want to just say spiritual realm, but for me, it was more of for my own inner self. It was like exhaling, because I felt like my time of being married, it was like I wasn't able to breathe.
You get to a point where you feel suffocated.
Yeah.
You're suffocating, and you need to breathe. You need to breathe.
Yeah.
You need to breathe.
And I felt like after a while of once I moved through the grieving and the understanding that, which I'm still learning to some degree, the understanding that it's okay for me to have fears or worries or concerns about finances and stuff like that, but God,
get through it.
And God just had to let me know, like, I got you. Basically.
I got you.
Like, I'm taking care of you.
Trust.
Have
faith.
Yeah.
Trust. Now, did you get angry? Did you go to a point where you were angry?
Oh my gosh, yes, I did. And that surprised me, because I didn't feel like I didn't think that I would have anger, because I felt guilty for my, on my own, for not allowing my marriage to work. So I felt so guilty that I didn't think that I would be angry. But then after a while, it did hit me, and I was like, Nicole. I was like,
wait a minute.
Like, you in my head, and then I was like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? You so and so. But I'm glad I went through that.
You had to go through it.
I am, because I could say, if I had just not felt that emotion, I probably would still be kind of feeling some guilt, you know, or remorse about stuff. But I'm glad I went through the anger, because it was like, okay, because I'm the kind of person that I always take my own actions into accountability. And I don't put a lot of stuff on other people. Like, even though you may not have been treating me right, you know, you may have been doing some things, I'm always going to look at what I'm doing over what you
That's
know.
good.
And that's just my personality. But I had to realize that it's okay to be angry with some of the stuff. It wasn't right.
Yeah, it's okay to be angry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
If you're not being treated the way you know you deserve to be treated,
yeah,
it's okay. And then to feel angry, my separation came before my divorce, so I went through a lot of that prior to my divorce. So when my divorce, when we got divorced, like I said, I was almost at the point where even after the tears, that was the court date.
Yeah.
No more tears after that.
Right.
It was more of a, I'm anxious to see what God got for me.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, because I had already been doing it on my own at that point. I had already been, you know, being the single mom, you know, I've been doing all that.
Yeah.
So
financially taking care of everything.
Financially taking care of it, had already done all that. So it was more of, let me see if God can bring the right man to me, you know, and I just needed to get out of the way, because things happen, but we get in the way. We get in the way of what God want to do with us and who God wants to bring into your life. Because no, I'm telling you, God is not going to bring someone into your life when you're not where you need to be.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to bring the man that he has for you if you're not where you need to be spiritually.
Yeah.
And
yeah. But I feel like that too. I agree with that. And I also think that it's incumbent upon us as individuals to also get ourselves basically within ourselves, quote unquote, where we need to be. But in terms of focusing our intention and our attention and intention on self-healing. Because I think that until you get healed within yourself and you deal with some of that shadow side of yourself, then that person's not going, there's always a blockage, and that person that's for you, that you have your heart's desire for, is not going to come into your life until you finally kind of get yourself healed and deal with all the traumas. And, you know, I mean, you know, divorce is a trauma in and of itself. So, you know, you have to deal with that, and then back stuff, because it's the reason why certain things don't work out, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, and just because you said shadow side, some people may not know what shadow side is, so let's shed a little light on that.
Okay.
Shadow side is when you're suppressing, when you're telling yourself that everything is good. Everything is good in your life, and I'm good, you know, and you see yourself as perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you want everybody else to see. Shadow side is when you stand in front of that mirror and you're looking in that mirror and you're saying, you can see all the blemishes and you can see the real you, and you know who the real you, when it's naked and unveiled, and you're looking at that person, and you know where you need to work on. You know the things that's not right within you, when you always think you're right and you're being dead wrong. Yeah. That's the shadow side.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you can work on those things and fix those things to where you can, it can be, may have a problem with, you may have a problem with over, you know, embellishing things. Well, don't think that that's good, just fix it where
Right.
you're not doing that, because
Right.
sometimes you can embellish something and hurt someone.
Yeah.
And just just face those things, and when you can face them and say that no, or telling yourself, this is a good example, I'm okay. You have a situation and there's something is really bothering you, but Nicole may ask me, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Well, knowing I'm not okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not okay. Instead of, but I'm just suppressing it.
Yeah.
It leads to depression. Suppression leads to depression. And when you're not willing to talk about it, and when you're willing to keep on telling yourself, I'm okay, you're not dealing with the issue that you're not okay about.
Exactly.
Deal with those issues.
Yeah.
So that you can heal yourself from those issues, and you can, move past
it. Yeah.
And
I think another portion of shadow work is admitting to yourself the things the issues that you have, such as like maybe insecurity. Admitting that, I'm
insecure.
I have these insecurities. I am insecure about X, Y, and Z or whatever, or codependency. Yes, I realize I have these codependency issues. So that to me is working on the shadow as well, because then when you can admit those things, then you can start to see them and, like you said, work on those things to get better. Like insecurities, we all have those. So, I mean,
any imperfect thing that you find imperfect about yourself, work on it.
Yeah. And not to be perfect, because I don't think nobody's ever going to ever be perfect.
We strive to
be. But at least you're working on it, so that, for one thing, so that it can make you feel better too. Because I mean, really, to be honest, if we are true and raw with ourselves, those things don't make us feel good. Like, really, the feeling of being insecure, it's not a good feeling.
And in all honesty, when you start working on those things, it'll help your confidence. It'll help build your confidence. And so, sidebar, no man wants a woman who is not confident. It's not attractive. And you wear it on the outside of you when you walk into a room and you're not confident. So going back to that, you just work on it because it helps build your confidence, and it helps build, and it isn't, confidence does not always come in the form of appearance.
Absolutely not. It's a mindset.
Yes.
It's an attitude.
So it's when you're working on that, those things, anything that you find imperfect about yourself, anything, work on that, and you'll start reflecting on the outside that that you've dealt with those issues. When you can say, yes, I feel insecure. Yes, I feel I'm feeling emotional. I'm feeling everything is not always perfect.
No. And you don't know, and we have to admit to ourselves that we don't know everything.
We don't know
everything, and that's okay. We're not supposed to know everything. We're human beings, so
you learn every day.
So it's okay to admit that too. I don't know everything, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. All that kind of thing, and that's a part of the process of being divorced. Is that. It's times that for me, it's like, I'm the kind of person that I don't really ask for a lot of help a lot. And I'm still kind of learning on that. I'm still not quite there yet. But, facing that divorce, it's like, I have to ask for help. There are times in my life that I've had since I've been divorced that I had to ask someone for help. And it was kind of hard for me. But I did it, and I was like, okay, this is not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's okay. Nobody looks at. We have to stop worrying about what other people think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you can no longer worry about what other people think, then it's liberation.
Absolutely,
you feel liberated and not worried about what other people think, because then you're free to be you.
You, exactly. Free to be yourself.
You're free to be you.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised at people who, when you are going through that kind of thing, you'll be surprised at how people's response is to you when you ask for help. They are willing
to
help. And they're not, I think sometimes we get afraid of judgment,
what people think.
Yeah, you'd be surprised that people are not as judgmental as you think they are. They are really willing to help you, and really kind about it. So that's, I found that to be the case for me. So yeah, it's just being able to recognize those things that you need to work on. That's the shadow, like we were saying, the shadow, recognizing those things. And I think that once you work on those things and heal from those things, that's when you can attract the person in your life that should be there.
Absolutely.
Now, we may go through a bunch of knuckleheads along the way, along the way, but that's a learning experience too. That's a learning curve. So
sometimes they're knuckleheads. They're maybe knucklehead, but you have to realize everybody is not for you.
Yes.
And when you know that they're a knucklehead, don't continue to give him your time.
Exactly.
Don't entertain. And I know it's easy because when you're going through the divorce, there comes a point of loneliness.
Yeah.
And you want something or someone to be entertained by.
Yeah.
But if you can just hold off, it's a distraction. What's for you is ahead of you.
Yeah.
And what's for you it's coming. Just be patient.
Yeah.
And understand that the relationship you need to focus on is building a relationship with God. And when you can build a relationship with God and get there with Him, because you want to meet someone in the spirit. And when you meet someone in the spirit, it's a different kind of relationship.
Yeah.
It would be one that you've never had before.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Time doesn't exist in God. So in your relationship, time will not exist.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
That's a blessing. That's truly a gift from God. That's truly a gift from God. And
yeah, it is. And
yes.
I mean, that's important. I mean, when I got divorced, I felt, like I leaned on God a lot. I mean, not that I wasn't before, but, the process of the pain and everything, of course, I leaned on God a lot. And I knew that He was going to get me through the situation. And then, so building up my own personal intimate relationship with Him was wonderful. And then to realize that I had to have my own relationship with myself too as well.
Yes.
Like learning to love myself and learning to appreciate the person that I am, that He made me to be.
Respecting yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Giving to yourself.
Yeah. So I think that's also important, is to get that relationship with yourself, because really I just feel like once you really have that kind of relationship where with God and with yourself, it's all one for one. And then you can be a confident person in who you are, and you won't really accept a lot of bull crap.
You won't accept it, and you won't accept it, and it's like you don't even want to, that you're worthy of, because God has already put that in you. You know that, and you know that anybody that's in your company needs to be worthy of your time and of your presence. And so you don't want to just be patient. Just be patient, because what's for you is for you. Yeah. Nobody can take that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nobody.
Yeah, for sure. So, I would say for me, I think I said this once before in one of our other podcasts, that I'm having basically the time of my life on this side of divorce. Life after divorce. Because I'm truly just learning myself and the things that I like and don't like, and and just trying new things and new experiences, and getting to know new people. I enjoy all that kind of thing. All of that. Move from one state to another state. I mean, back to another state. So it's kind of like, I love all that. So it's like traveling with friends, or on my own, or whatever the case may be. I love all of that. So it's like, I'm really adjusting in the best way possible.
Yeah.
For myself. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Even though it hasn't been easy. Of course, it's some things were a struggle, but for me internally, it's been probably one of the best journeys, because it's like, I'm just getting to flourish in my own way. Because like I said, I got married so young. When you get married so young, you just you really don't know who you are.
You don't.
And then to try to be figuring out who you are with somebody else, you grow. You're growing, and they're growing, or they should be growing, or sometimes they're not growing and you're growing. And so it's kind of like...
You grow apart.
Grow apart, yeah. So, when you can have that solitude to get to know you and just enjoy who you are, it can be a good thing. So,
it is. It can be a very good thing, and it is a good thing. It is very good, a very good thing. For me, I feel like I was the best thing that came out. This new me was the best thing that came out of my marriage. And being able to love myself and, just who I am, getting to this point in my life right now where I'm able to take care of myself and my children. And with God's help, because nothing,
yeah, absolutely,
and I don't take credit for nothing. God gets all the glory. But just knowing that I came out of it equipped, that I can handle what's in my future. And I just feel really blessed. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And girl, I'm just so happy because God got me.
Yes, absolutely.
He got me.
Yeah. That's something that, I know that, like, for me, I always know that God has me, because he just keeps showing me.
Yes.
But sometimes I will say for myself, because I have a tendency to overthink. And so sometimes with me overthinking and worries come into play, I forget that. But then all the time God just kind of, nudges me and be like, I told you before.
Don't worry about this. Stop.
I told you, I already told you before. Like, what's wrong with you?
We have to realize that, sometimes we worry in our thoughts. If we don't control our thoughts thoughts will control us.
Absolutely.
So you have to bring those thoughts under subjection, and because if you don't control your thoughts, they will control you.
They will control you. Definitely.
Because we live in our thoughts.
Yeah, every day.
We have to get out of our way and bring our thoughts under subjection.
And we have control over that.
Yeah, we do. Think on those things that are good, and righteous, and just. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, we do. We have control over our thoughts. People think that, like, you can't control that, but you really, really can. That's that however you want to trick your mind to do it, it can be done.
Yeah.
You can control the things that you are thinking. And so...
and whether it be good or negative,
right?
You control it. You can give Nicole and I the same thought.
Yeah.
And we both can think on it in
a different way.
A different way. So we control how we look at things. You're gonna either take a positive. You can take the positive or the negative.
Yeah.
I choose the positive.
For sure.
You have to choose the positive, just because it's life there. You know.
Yeah.
Who wants to be negative all the time?
All the time. Yeah.
You got to think of the positive. Be the alchemist.
Yes.
Someone gives you some lemons, make some lemonade.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
Be the alchemist in the situation.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, ultimately, you know, when it comes to the attraction thing, again, it's like, if you are thinking negative thoughts, you're going to attract the negative things. If you're thinking positive, you're going to attract the positive things.
And,
you know,
and that's even in a relationship.
Yeah.
So you know, if you are constantly thinking on positive things and you're in the spirit and you are walking in the spirit, you're gonna meet someone there.
Right.
You know. And that's what you want. That's what you want. So keep your mind elevated and keep a high vibration so that you're vibrating on a scale to attract the kind of man that you want to bring into your life on that vibration. And stay there.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Stay there. You know, so that you're balanced and you're when you stay. When I mean stay there, it's balanced out.
Yeah.
There. And I'm telling you.
And it's can be done. You just got to do it. You know, you have to train your mind to it.
I'm a witness.
Yeah, you
won't he do it?
He will do it.
Yes, he will.
Definitely. So yeah, you have to train your mind to do that. You do. I mean, if you want the things that you want in life, you have to learn how to train your mind to think on those things.
Think on those things.
So, and not to be thinking on
the negative
things.
Don't think on things like, I don't have.
Right.
Or I need. Think on things like I have. Speak those things that are not as though they are. And think we all have needs, but think if there's something that you desire, see it already in your present and believe it and act like you have it.
Right.
Believe it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
By faith, believe it, and just that God's going to supply your needs.
Absolutely.
He's going to give you the desires of your heart. He's going to give that to you because you deserve it. He said what he give to one, he give to you. What he does for others, he'll do for you. So he's no respect of person.
Right.
So he loves you just as much as he loved the next one.
Right.
So, but don't covet no one.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Not just,
because whatever is for you is for you. It's not.
What's for you is for you.
Her man ain't for you. So.
Right. That part.
And that's true. Her husband ain't yours. Trust and believe that.
That's right.
Period. So.
But yes, he will give you the desires of your heart. You just ask and believe, and don't expect it. Don't walk in it. Yeah, walk in expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
Walk in expecting it to happen, but don't go out, with the attitude as like he owes you this. You don't
exactly.
Don't do that.
No.
But just walk in expecting because it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. Walk in confidence.
Walk in
confidence that you have
it's
it already.
Coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Yes.
And that when you were talking about the negative and positive in relationship, what popped in my mind also was even when we get into the relationship, I remember when I was married, somebody told me and my ex-husband at the time, we were together when we were still married, something that was so profound to me. And that was, when you're with someone, we have a tendency to focus on the negative aspect of that person. Like even something as simple as they always want to leave their shoes on the floor, in the middle of the floor. They don't want to pick them up. So that's that thing we focusing on constantly in our head. So every day he's leaving his shoes in the middle of the floor.
And you see that, and it becomes bigger in your head.
Yes.
It becomes bigger. You start because you're focusing on that.
Yes.
In the relationship, what you need to focus on are things that are good. Why you fell in love with that person?
Yeah,
why the things that are good, because that's what produces more good things.
Yes.
When you start focusing on negative things, you start seeing other
negative stuff. Everything.
Everything. And so then that tears a relationship apart.
Yeah.
You want to edify the person that you're with and keep pouring into that person positive words of positive love, positive words, just positive, because you want your relationship to remain positive.
Yeah. And it could be like, okay, so he leaves his shoes in the middle of the floor every day, but he washes the dishes every day.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He washes the dishes every day.
Every day. So I don't have to worry about that. So I just put his little shoes over to the side. When you start thinking more like that, then that little stuff like that doesn't bother you.
Yeah, you're able to be more appreciative of him washing the dishes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Or, filling up your tank.
Yeah.
Those are things that, keeping your car on full and washed and clean.
Right.
Those are things that I know I do it because I have to.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I like to do.
Absolutely.
But so when you focus on that, when you focus on those things, you're able to say, "Oh, baby, he did that. Oh, thank you," and you appreciate that. You're able to show gratitude, and that pleases him. You're happy. Everybody's happy. And you can keep that harmony going in your household and
in your relationship.
And it flourish.
Now that's one thing I will say about being single. On the other side of divorce is I hate car stuff. I hate having to deal with the car stuff. I don't want to take the car to get the oil changed and the tire. I want somebody else to do that for me.
All the maintenance.
All that maintenance. Wash the car. Please do it. I don't want to
take care of all that.
But I have to do it because I'm a single person. So, until someone comes along that is worthy, I ain't worried about that. I'll just do what I have to do. But definitely.
Because those things we focus on the minor things.
Yeah.
And we bring those things to life.
Yeah.
And then
so big.
It becomes really big in our relationship. If we take that same energy and put it on the positive things, watch and see how it turn your relationship around.
Yeah.
It'll turn it around. It'll do a 360.
Yeah.
And you'll see, God, it does wonders.
It does for you and for your partner.
Yes, for both of you. It's I'm telling you, it's harmony in the household, in your relationship, and you'll be able to pour into each other freely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. So, anything else you want to say about this side of divorce that you think you want to put out there?
Girl, my skin is out on this part of the machine.
Oh, Lord.
And I just looked at the camera and looked like...
I could not see it. Oh, Lord.
I digress.
Right, exactly.
However, on this side of divorce, I never thought that I would have the happily ever after.
Oh, okay. You think you found the happily ever after? Okay, all right then. That's good. That's what's up.
Girl, I mean, it's just refreshing to be able to have someone that matches you on every level. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
every
definitely.
level. And you not have to, no arguing and, none of all of the stuff that you go through in previous relationships, none of that. It's so refreshing to be able to talk to someone about things that, you enjoy and things that you have
passion about.
Yes, and they want to hold your hand and take you, walk closer to God with you, and it not be a struggle, you know.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's magical almost. You know, it's just, you know, it's just a blessing.
Yeah,
I just say it's a gift from God.
Definitely, yeah.
A true gift from God, because when you have something like, and it's so brand new. Every day is a new day.
Yeah.
And you look forward to it.
That's good.
Conversation,
That's really
and it gave me the real meaning of missing someone.
Okay.
When you miss someone,
Yeah.
it's not because they're, you know, it's like, I missed you because where have you been? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you. Where have you been?
Right. Yeah. That's what's up. That's awesome to find that.
That it's like,
Yeah.
it's and to know that God is the head of it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's really, really good. It's a blessing.
All I can say is thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you. That's it. That's all I can say.
That's it.
Because it's truly a blessing to find someone that just,
Yeah. Just hits on every cylinder. All
every
cylinders.
cylinder.
That's good. That's rare. That can be rare.
It's
awesome.
it's so rare. I'm like, it's got to be God.
Yeah.
I couldn't have. I did it myself before and it didn't work.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I just want to sit back and see what God gonna do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, God.
Exactly.
Look, go ahead. Go ahead.
Exactly. Definitely. Well, I know. Like for me, I'm just, as far as on this side of this, you know, life after divorce, on this side after divorce, I'm happy. Like I said before, I'm just happy because it just gives me my chance to get to know myself and to love myself and to truly, I mean, as far as relationships and all of that are concerned, I think I said once before, I don't want to be married again, but that's just my desire.
That's just you speaking right now. I sat and said the same thing.
Well, I mean, I hear you. I hear what you're saying as far as like, and a lot of people say that that's just for now. For me, I really have to say, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. It's not a desire that
I didn't see it either.
So,
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't see it either. But, you know, as you grow older, and you go through things, and you know, I just said, if what God has for me is for me, and if I'm not getting in His way no more. I just refuse to be in His way, because when I get in the way, I mess up.
Yeah.
It don't go right, and I have to redo a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
I just rather just let God be in control, and I surrender to Him. And whatever happens, happen. I'm just a steward, following His lead.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a good thing. Yeah.
That's it. There, I said it.
All right, amen, sister. Amen. For sure. That's good. That's the way it should. That's the way it should go. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That is the way it should be. You know, and it should be peaceful.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Happiness and
harmonious.
Yeah.
And just flowing and just.
I mean, that's like, for me, you know, I just feel like if you're going to be with someone after you've been divorced and you've dealt with a lot of stuff, you don't want to be in a relationship. You don't want to hop and get into a relationship that you're still, that there's more turmoil
Yeah.
and trauma. You want, especially when you get a certain age, you want, you want to have fun. You don't want to be.
You absolutely know what you want.
Exactly.
And
you know what you want,
what you don't
and you know what you don't want. And it's this time where it's like, it's time to have a good time.
It's time to.
I don't want to struggle with all of that other stuff. I know who I am, and I hope the person that I'm getting involved with knows who he is. And if you have two people that know who they are and know what they want and what they don't want, that's perfect. That's it right there. Because then there's not a struggle. I don't have to struggle. It's not a struggle love. Like, we just chilling. Like, we having a good time. Like, this is the time for our life to enjoy each other.
To enjoy each other and build.
Yeah.
And just grow closer to God. And just let it be. Just let it be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes.
So, I guess with all of that said, I guess that's it for the day.
Well, remember to always love yourself, be kind to yourself, treat yourself, forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
Forgive yourself.
Definitely. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, put in the comment section any questions you have or any topics, subjects that you want us to
anything you want
tackle.
us to cover. Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll give us some insight on what you think about, some feedback on what you think about this video.
Yeah.
And help us to
to create things to bring to you all that you want to hear.
Create different content to bring to you. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, well, remember to be good to yourself. Say it again. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Love over everything.
Love over everything.
Love covers a multitude of sin. It covers a multitude of everything.
Everything.
It covers everything. So start your day with love, loving yourself.
Exactly. All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.